Wow. Hey everybody, this is 𝙱𝚕𝚊𝚅𝚘, the Fancy Action Now, and this completely professional setup that's going on. I am literally not eating any kind of small bowl of strawberry mini wheats. That's, right before a show? Right before a trailer reaction, would I sit here in front of you and eat a mini wheat before one of the biggest game releases, most controversial game releases of all time? Would I do that? Would I do that? I'm not being paid for this nonsense. I do this for fun. So yeah. Do I have some emergency mini wheat standing next to me? Yeah. I sure do. I need help. Anyway, look into a 12-step, brother. Anyway, this is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War reveal trailer, and it already has nearly 4.5 million views. I was very excited when I heard that it was going to be Black Ops in the Cold War, because there is just an endless amount of intrigue and propaganda and revisionist history and, all kinds of clandestine operate. It is an endless font of the story of politics and the human drama within politics and warfare, and just outrageous. And in many ways, I think Cold War is more interesting by far than World War II, But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. So, but let's go ahead and let's hit the button on this bad boy, all right? Shall we? Yeah. Wow. (1968), which is the year of infamy.
Blood. Just a light diffuse of a secret war, decades in the making.
Well, we're looking at a cinematic. It looks amazing. Boom.
My fellow Americans, a nuclear conflict could well be mankind's last. We want to make this a more peaceful world.
5 days ago, we acquired intel. The Soviet agent Perseus is in play. If he's active, something big is gonna happen. Something that could shift the balance of the Cold War.
And we gotta keep that balance going no matter what. How are we gonna justify the military budget otherwise? Come on now. We have to maintain our levels of spend at World War II plus levels, don't we? Oh my God, bro! Don't even get me started. That's why I love all this.
Is the threat real?
Yes, it is.
Sir, we believe it is. Give Mr. Adler whatever he wants.
You got Ronald Reagan, baby, and you can't tell me that guy's not based on Kurt Russell, bro. Come on, now. I wonder if he voices it. Wouldn't that be great? I don't know, it didn't sound quite like him, but, you never can tell. Kurt's going to be, going into voiceover. He really should. He's good. Call me Snake.
I know you won't fail us.
He's like, don't fail us, baby. I'm Reagan.
Pre-order digital copy and get early
Woo! Holy... Oh, the operator pack. Nice. Special edition, baby. Is it Afghanistan? Oh, multiplayer? Oh, yeah. Oh! Wow. Yeah, let's keep going. Keep going. Keep rolling. Keep rolling, baby. Keep it rolling. Are we in an adult movie studio? Keep going. Keep it rolling.
1943. Detailed information from the Manhattan Project was stolen from Los Alamos.
Ooh, there's Oppenheimer right there.
Russian spy known as Perseus.
Perseus Mandate.
1968. Vietnam.
Remember that for Fear? Perseus Mandate? Greatest expansions ever made for one of the greatest games ever made.
American-made nuclear bomb from a U.S. firebase.
5
days ago, while on a mission, We acquired intel that Perseus is employed.
Oh, it's Perseus. Hello, Russian. Hello, Soviet.
Perseus. The CIA's
I always thought Russia and America should get together and be brothers. Be the brother and the sister that they are.
We're all aware of Perseus.
The bear and the maiden.
We're also aware he's more myth than
Beauty
fact.
and the Beast. Get it?
Personally, I think he's nothing more than
Get it?
Russian boogeyman.
A boogeyman.
General Haig.
He doesn't scare me.
Allow me to introduce the man.
I'm Alexander Haig.
CIA clandestine special officer.
Dude,
Russell.
stop looking so
One of
hardcore
few
with
people
the
you can
undone
post to
tie
capture
and the
Perseus.
shades in a dark meeting room with you got the lamps on, but you're wearing sunglasses.
Seriously?
You don't have to, sir.
You don't have to, sir.
Yeah. Then a lot of innocent people are gonna die.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, why do you
Every
say
time
that,
Perseus
Senator?
went into play, it shifted the balance of the Cold War.
Yeah.
After 13 years of silence, if he's active, something big is gonna happen.
Isn't that like Bloom?
Something
Isn't that
will
like
affect the free world.
yeah, who is that? Is that Nolan North? Who is that? It should be Kurt Russell, damn it. Call me Snake. Oh, President of the United States Ronald Reagan and Worldwide Ramrod.
Mr. President, this is Jason Hudson and Russell Adler.
I know their names. Who do you think approved their last mission?
Mm-hmm. Sit down, gentlemen.
Is the threat real?
Is the
Sir,
threat
we believe
real?
it is.
Can
Because
you stop Perseus?
We can,
yes.
sir. I've already
Look at that hair. That hair is you two are on the same
Their
page with hair.
requests are highly irregular.
Reagan had bulletproof
Most
hair.
likely illegal. If the press gets a hold.
What the hell are you talking about?
Single-handedly keeping the wet look alive.
Sergeant Woods. Plausible deniability. Backbone of our work.
Plausible
And
deniability means that we can lie about shit we do. That's all that
Women
means.
of the world.
We can effectively
Mr.
lie.
Adler, whatever he wants.
We can lie.
Gentlemen,
Give him whatever he wants.
you've been given an important task.
Yeah.
Protecting our very way of life.
We're gonna take money out of my hair gel budget
There
and
is
give it to
no
you.
higher duty. There is no higher honor. And while few people will know of your struggles, rest assured, the entire free world.
I'll scratch your initials in a park bench for this.
I know you won't fail us.
He's like, I'm Reagan, America. Woo! Wow.
Pre-order a digital copy and get early access to the open beta and instant access to the Woods operator pack in Modern Warfare, including Warzone.
1943.
Wow.
Detailed information from the Manhattan.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. So, really big promo for PS5. So, coming out of the gates, PS5 pre-launch with a game like this was played on PS5, and they're just like, they're going with a winner, baby. They're just like, we're going to make sure that, this game, it'll be available on all platforms, but to be like footage captured on a PS5 on PS5 hardware, that was a nice commercial. And considering this is the type of thing you see, and I want you to remember this, this is the kind of thing that you see as damage control for The Last of Us 2. I know you're like, really? It's everything about The Last of Us 2? No, but what I'm seeing is a company that went to Call of Duty, went to, Activision and said, here's how it's going to go down. If you need money, we give you money. If you need access, we give you access. If you need whatever you need, we want PS5 on that trailer. One of the biggest game trailers of all time. And it's one of the biggest game trailers of all time. It is going to be one of the best-selling games on the new hardware, on the new systems. I'm sorry, it is. It's going to be huge. This game is going to be huge. Now, that being said, I did include the word #censorship, which just seems to be ubiquitous in our society, where you have corporations and governments and everybody so scared of any negative feedback that it's just literally crushed, whether it's in the courts, whether it's through shadow banning or literal banning or intimidation. Censorship is a to me, it is a sign of weakness. It is bullying. It is, I can't stand up in the arena of ideas. I can't take any hits. If I take any hits, well, that's just going to shatter the entire illusion of who I am. So, it's almost like being in a relationship, okay? It's like if you have somebody giving you ultimatums, the relationship is already over. And that's like where I see like these bannings, these warnings. It used to be strikes. I mean, that's like a joke now. The strike system is like a joke. It's like, we'll just go ahead and outright ban them. Let's take a look at their advertising profile. Well, you know what? We're getting this much money from the Chinese Communist Party, or we're getting this much money in this market and they don't like it. We'll just get rid of them. I mean, it is gone political now. It's like, it's the politics that are driving the business practices, which is a very, very bad sign. It is a very, very bad sign when companies are that hugged up. They're always hugged up, but when they're that hugged up, when it's absolutely no division, there's no sunlight between a corporation and what they do and what a government wants done. So, it's one of those things where an American, let's say Soviet Russia, let's say back in the day, Soviet Russia called Atari or Nintendo and said, like I just picked it up, called Russian Attack for NES. What if Russia called up Nintendo in the United States and said, you know what, we really don't like that. You're making us look bad. Now, Soviet Russia used to beat up on us all the time because we manipulated news and manipulated stories, and they manipulated stories, and it became, and that's where the seeds of all this, that's why the Cold War is such an interesting topic and such an interesting game concept. There's so much propaganda that went back and forth. It was like World War II never ended, and we just swapped out the Nazis for the Soviets. So they were our allies in defeating Germany, but they wound up being the replacement enemy because we were going to have to scale down all that economic growth. You have to remember that we were in a deep depression prior to World War II. And we couldn't seem to find our way out of it. We couldn't get the inertia or the momentum going to overcome, because we were fine before the Great Depression. Before the Great Depression, it was one of the greatest booms of all time. It was an age of decadence. It was an age of, nouveau riche and all these people in the stock market making a fortune. And it was undermined by design. Any major plays, and this is the thing that you have to, when you grow up a little, you have to understand that all major plays, all major circumstances that happen, although they're portrayed sometimes as serendipitous or organic or, we don't know. It just, it was a run on the banks. People got scared, and that was engineered, right? And that put us in such terrible poverty, but it also creates, you have to remember, here's the other thing that I'll teach. You have to remember that disaster creates opportunity. When you're like, what do you mean? Okay, well, let's look at Katrina. Katrina just wiped out a bunch of businesses, a bunch of property, and it displaced a bunch of people. A bunch of people just left the state. Okay, and you're like, well, how is that good? Well, if you are somebody with investment dollars, be you a foreign power, be you foreign business interest or domestic business interests, you could roll into that area and consolidate real estate and purchase it for pennies on the dollar. All of a sudden, this real estate, think about it. You've got $1 million to invest, right? And all of a sudden, Katrina rolls through this area. You're a property developer. And all of a sudden, Katrina rolls through this area, and you go and you look at the properties, and that the buildings are decimated, but you don't really care about that because property is more valuable with structures on it. Okay, it becomes immediately more valuable. So you can buy a plot of land, like in my neighborhood, you buy a plot of land. Plots around here now are going for anywhere between 50 and 75,000. They used to go for 8 and 10,000. Okay, and populations grow, property appreciates, but it continues to appreciate at a relentless rate. And people don't come off of it easy. People want to make a profit on their land and their structures. So, but a Katrina to a property developer would be a dream scenario, because they can go in there and they can say, whoa, there's no longer a structure here. I can get this plot of land, this acreage or whatever I want. Even if you put a house on an acreage, even if you got like 5 acres and you put a house on it, it increases the value of the land, because now it's habitable. Now it's habitable land, right? So here's the idea. The idea is that all of these kind of major disasters, economically especially, can be manipulated, like to short the market. Do you know what shorting the market is? A lot of people don't even understand how that works. When you short the market, you're actually betting that the business will do poorly, and you make money if it does. See, again, that concept alone, understand the shorting of the market, right? So back to the property developer. Property developer comes in and can buy this land, can buy a plot of land that used to be 150,000, 250,000, 500,000, maybe there were multiple dwellings on the property, maybe there was rental property, and it was valued at $1 million or $500,000 or something, and they can come in and get it for 10 grand. Or 20 grand, or whatever it is that, it's land office, man. It's land office. They just go ahead and they buy it all up. They put a new structure on that. And within a year, or, as soon as the structure is complete, they've made money. If they turn it into a rental, they're making money. And their initial investment was a fraction of what it would normally have been. So don't ever think that people are not taking advantage of these situations and making money on them. So, very similarly, the Cold War was after World War II, we industrialized we mobilized the entire country of the United States to manufacture war materials for World War II. It mobilized the entire country. The entire country was put to work. There was zero unemployment. We didn't have enough people to do the jobs. So you had people fighting, men at arms, and then you had, the older men and the women being put into manufacturing. So you literally changed the culture, you changed the economy, and you turned us into an industrial power. Prior to World War II, primarily America was an agrarian culture, very similar to the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire started out as citizen soldiers, farmers. You basically, if you were a farmer and you had a son, you sent him, you sent him to war. He served in the military for 20 years. He became a citizen. You had to serve. If you were a citizen of the Roman Empire, you had to serve for 20 years in the military. Okay, it was mandatory, very much like Israel. So think about that. Think about how that transformed America. And the entire world was mobilized and industrialized in a generation. So we went from mainly a farming culture, literally, we went from a farming culture to an industrial culture within a single generation. Within one generation. The financial boom was unbelievable, and we had military bases, and I think it was like 150 countries. I mean, we just had military bases all over the world. And then when we won the war and we occupied those other bases, I went up to like 170. And now we have something like 186 or 187 total military bases all over the planet. And we still do. We've never reduced them. So think about that. This game is going to be a monster. It is going to be amazing. It says, learn your history or be doomed to repeat it. I absolutely encourage you to look into the Cold War and World War II and how that impacted America, how America was put into a depression by design, and then we were led into war by design, and then we industrialized the entire world. Very similar to what the British Empire did. The British Empire, British people often claim that we civilized the world, and they did it with the gun. So they fielded, you know, the breath of this planet. They were the first, you know, we inherited the British Empire essentially. You know, they went into their decadent phase, and lost a lot of their holdings. I mean, I think Hong Kong was the last holdout. So, and that's gone now too. So, the last remnants of the British Empire, but their legacy remains. Their industrialization, like they moved into countries like India, and did they repress the people? Yeah. They industrialized the nation, though. They also industrialized many others and brought courts and a system of laws and courts and things like that. But when you do those kind of changes, there is resistance from the populace. The populace will keep doing what they do. A lot of people will keep doing what they do unless there is a urgent reason to change. And usually that's a negative reason, like war or famine or disease or blah, blah, blah. And right now we're looking at all of those. So I'm going to pop off of here. I am so looking forward to this game. This is going to be a monster. Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops. I mean, this is for the Black Ops franchise. It's classic. They do touch on the Cold War in some of the other Black Ops games, but this one's going to be completely dedicated, featuring Reagan. And I mean, Reagan kept us thinking about war his entire administration. It was all about the Cold War with Reagan. I mean, the whole time it was okay. And you got to remember, in Reagan's day, it was nuclear Armageddon, war with the Soviets, and AIDS, and it was just like, be afraid of everything. It was like, yeah, talk about fear as a manipulator. The Reagan administration, and he did a lot of great things, but it was also a very scary time. It was like, he defeated communism, okay, but aren't we still dealing with communism? That's the thing. One of the things that Reagan gets credit for is he defeated the Soviet communism. But communism is all over the place. South America, there's a lot of socialist countries there. You got China, which is so much more populous than Russia will ever be. I mean, scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. So but this game is going to be a crackerjack. Totally recommend. It's going to be great. Unfortunately, there was a little censorship. Let me see. Can I show you the image? Let me see. Let me see. I kind of want to. I kind of don't want to, and I kind of want to. Yeah, okay. No. Okay, let's see. Where's this one? Oh, that's my lectern. And there's that one. And there's me. Hey, baby, want a date? And let's see. Image 3. Okay. I don't know where I hid it from myself. I did hide it from myself. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll leave it there. But listen, Cold War is going to be amazing. So check it out. Perseus Mandate. This is 𝙱𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 Fancy Action Now. Trailer reaction for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I could keep talking for hours, but I'm not going to.